Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Avenue A Season 2. This is our first debut episode of a brand new season. I am really excited to keep the show going. And we just closed out Season 1 with 20 episodes a couple weeks ago. And then I took 1 week off and now I'm back at it and I'm really excited. I'm in a new space. If you'll notice, I'm back in New York City, which is exciting. This is where I lived, and then I spent the quarantine on the West Coast, and now I'm back. So it's good to be back. It's good to be debuting another season of Avenue A with a super special guest today. I'm really excited to kick off Season 2 with our guest. Her name is Bobbi MacKenzie. So before I bring her on, just a little bit about Bobbi. Bobbi is an actress, songstress, and all-out performer who made her Broadway debut as an original cast member of the Tony-nominated School of Rock, the musical. In 2015, Bobbi's voice and presence caught the attention of the legendary Andrew Lloyd Webber himself, who later went on to personally offer her the principal role of Tamika in School of Rock, the musical at the Winter Garden Theater, and then welcomed her to Broadway. At the age of 10 years old, Andrew Lloyd Webber's vision for Bobbi MacKenzie continued to reveal itself as he requested that Bobbi represent School of Rock the musical at the Broadway at the White House event hosted by Michelle Obama. So cool. Bobbi has since been on Good Morning America, The Today Show, The View, The Wendy Williams Show, TEDx Portland, the Tonys, and numerous local Portland, Oregon TV programs. Bobbi also works in the TV and film circuit, playing Vanessa Atwater in a recurring role on NBC's Chicago PD, as well as being featured in Documentary Now on IFC. Most recently, Bobbi starred in 2 impactful short films. One was called Another Day, and the other one was called Homeroom, where she won the Best Actress and Best Actor award, respectively, from multiple film festivals. I'm so excited to kick off Avenue A's second season with such a powerhouse of a performer and all around super cool human being. So let's bring on Bobbi MacKenzie. Hi, Bobbi.
Hi.
Thanks so much for joining me. It's such an honor to have you on the show. I'm really excited to chat with you about your amazing journey that you've had thus far in your career.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation. I'm super excited.
It's my pleasure. I'm stoked to have you on. I mean, obviously, you know, you've worked on Broadway already. You've done film and TV, and now you know you're living in Portland. Is that right?
That is correct.
Cool. And you're doing online school, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we are.
Crazy.
It is pretty crazy, but I mean, whatever it takes to keep us all safe. This is crazy.
Truly.
Yeah.
I can't even, I mean, I just graduated from NYU in May. So I did like 3 months of the Zoom school. So I kind of get it. I was doing it a little bit, but I can't imagine doing it continuously. That must be wild.
Yeah, it was pretty wild, but I had already done online because of School of Rock and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I did 2 years of online learning. So it's not completely like, oh, what is this setting? But it's still kind of weird because those teachers didn't teach online before. It's just a struggle, but I'm thankful to everyone. We're all trying to make it work. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have a great attitude about it. That's really nice because it's the truth. Like there's nothing else we can do, right? But just make the best of it, I guess.
Right.
So I'm wondering, you know, your journey with School of Rock, that sounds like such an incredible experience. And what 3 things have you carried from your into your other professional endeavors that you learned from your time on Broadway?
I would say the first thing is taking direction. Because when you do a live show, like everything has to be really precise. People need to see you, they need to hear what you're saying, you need to enunciate. So when they give you notes, please take the direction and do it, because sometimes they can get impatient too, because you know they have a vision for the show, and if you're not doing that, then maybe they thought they might have picked the wrong choice. So you know what, you just taking direction, that's a huge thing. The next thing I would say is discipline, because we had to do the show like every night. You only get one day off. So that's
Yeah.
kind of pretty tiring. And then taking that and doing other work, it's taught me to really be disciplined. Like, this is what you need to drink for your voice. Like, no dairy, nothing like that. If I want to make sure that my voice is in the best condition, or learn your lines, be prepared. You never know, like, what they might throw at you. So that's another thing. And then, I'd say the last thing is no messing around. When I was 10, I there was this one instance where, oh gosh, I had booed someone when they were taking their bow as a joke.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I got in serious trouble. And ever since then, I was like, okay, no more funny business. Like, I need to be really focused. And then after that, I was kind of like a role model for the new kids who were brought in, because I was one of the last original ones, because I was one of the youngest.
Yeah.
So yeah, no messing around, like no laughing when you're not supposed to, no talking when you're not supposed to. Just stay attentive and focus and listen. So I'd say those three things.
That must have been such a crazy ride as a 10-year-old. Like, I'm thinking of 10-year-old me, playing in the playground, messing around, like couldn't focus on anything. And then thinking about the caliber of Broadway and what they expect of you. Like, some adults can't even pull that off, like people get fired from Broadway all the time because they can't, as like 20 and 30-year-old people, like they can't do it. That must have been, was that overwhelming for you, or was it just like a cool challenge?
I think it was a cool challenge, because at my age, school, it wasn't very hard. I don't know. I was a fifth grader, and then I was a sixth grader because I left when I had just turned 12.
Got it.
So it wasn't really overwhelming, because before the show actually opened, we had done workshops, and then we did some shows at the Gramercy Theater. So I was kind of getting used to it. And then we got a summer break, and then we came back, and I was ready. I was prepared. I was excited. Sometimes it would get a little tiring though. Like, do the show, go to sleep, do school. So whenever summer came around, that was like the best time, because we didn't have to do school, and it was just doing the shows, having sleepovers, all this fun stuff.
Yeah. Wow. It's so cool to hear your experience and your perspective. It's awesome. Thanks for sharing. So I'm wondering, in this career as an artist, the word failure is something that we come up against a lot, I think. And different people have different definitions of failure. And people have different ways of looking at, what maybe a failure is. I'm wondering what your definition of the word failure is. And as a follow-up to that, how has a failure, or maybe an apparent failure, set you up for later success?
Right. To me, the definition of failure is that there is no failure in this instance. I feel like in this industry, if you don't get something, that was for a reason. And whatever you do get is really for you, because my failure story was probably my first Broadway audition that I ever went for was for Matilda. And I had gotten to the last round, and I could taste it. I just knew I was going to get this part. I knew I was going to be Lavender. I just knew it. I was like, I'm going to get this part. And I didn't. I was too short and too young at the time. And I was just like, oh man, like I'm such a failure. Like, I failed that. But then my parents were like, okay, this is what happens, because my mom used to act back in her day. She's like a radio personality. So they were telling me, like, don't let that discourage you. This wasn't meant for you, and something later will come that is really for you. So I was like, okay, yeah, I need to stay focused and, keep going. And then I went for Lion King. I didn't make it past that first round. And then Les Mis, didn't make it past that first round either. That was sad, but I was still going. And then School of Rock came around, the original cast, which is so crazy. And I booked that. So I think that's why I say no failure, because if I had booked Matilda, I wouldn't have gotten to do School of Rock.
Right.
And that was probably one of the best experiences in my life. The best experience in my life. Sorry. So yeah, I don't believe there is failure.
I like that perspective, and I think you're right. Because it really is like if you would have gotten that first thing that felt like a failure at the time, the first show, Matilda, you wouldn't have gotten to do any of the gotten to have any of the experiences you ended up having with School of Rock.
Right.
Yeah. Was it hard at the time to sort of, it sounds like your parents were like, listen, Bobbi, like, we're telling you it's going to be okay. This is not your time. Like, was it hard to believe that? Or like, what was the emotional journey for you in that?
Yeah, at first, I think when I heard the news about Matilda, I was crying, I think, and then they had
Yeah.
that talk with me, and it was kind of hard to believe because first, that was like my first audition, like ever. I'm pretty sure maybe I
Yeah.
had little ones for like little commercials, but my first audition, like really, like we went out to New York
Wow.
4 times for Matilda for the
Wow.
callbacks. So I just
Mhm.
knew it, and I felt like, okay, well, if I can't get that, like, what else can I get? I don't believe that I can get anything. And then following the next 2 auditions, I didn't even get a callback. So I was like, I don't know. Am I good enough? I don't know. And
Yeah.
also for School of Rock, kind of going back to the failure thing a little bit, the video that I sent in for my first audition, it just wasn't too good. I don't know. I was prepared. I just think my nerves got the best of me because I had to prepare a whole song. And that one didn't go through. And my agent needed a new one.
Oh.
And that
Oh.
was like a woo woo. And then I sent the next video that we had to re-record, and it was really good. So I was just like, that was such a sign, like a failure kind of thing, that I just needed to redo to show the real talent there. So I don't know, like,
Yeah.
and then after, yeah, I think it was a little hard in the beginning, but eventually it got easier. Just thinking like it's not for me, something will happen.
Hmm.
So just keep going and believing.
Now, I want to touch on something that you brought up about the nerves affecting your performance, because that's huge for a lot of performers. I know I've struggled with my nerves throughout my performing career, and it's still something, it's one of the biggest things that I battle when going into an audition room,
Mm-hmm.
because it's just, even though logically you're like, it's not the end of the world. It's just I'm going into this room to have fun, show who I am, show my skills. There's still that little voice, that's like, you're on the spot, and like, what happens if this happens? And
Right.
how do you handle that?
Oh man. Well, it's gotten worse now. It was easier when I was like 10 years old because I don't know, you have
Mm,
that confidence. Well, you still get
yeah.
nervous, but oh Lord, I don't know. And for the performing every night thing, I would say opening night, I was super nervous. We were all so
Mm.
nervous because like
Oh, I
the
can
movie
imagine.
cast was there, all of our families
Oh
were
my
there, and
God.
like just famous people. I don't know, it was opening and we're just like, oh Lord, this is so nerve-wracking. And then after a while, it just feels like home. And I never really got nervous anymore unless they said a
Mm,
celebrity was in the audience or something, and we'd be like, oh my gosh. But something that I do, which probably wasn't great, because before the song I had to sing in the show, I don't know, I'd get in my head and I had to go over every lyric, every show.
mhm.
I did that every show because I thought if I didn't, like I would
Wow.
forget. And there was one time I think I might have slipped up. It wasn't noticeable, but I like slipped up on some words. So I know sometimes nerves can get the best of us and think we're not prepared, and like that whole song thing, having to go over the lyrics, like so annoying. I don't know. I just have to do it. I don't know. So sometimes it
Yeah.
can ruin things. But yeah,
Yeah.
as you get older, you get like more self-conscious and more nervous to like go in that room.
Right.
I don't know. It got worse,
Right.
but I still enjoy it.
That's good. That's good to hear. I mean, I feel the same. Whenever I feel those nerves and those like little voices creeping in my head, I just tell myself like, you like this more than you don't like feeling nervous. So it's okay. Just do it anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotta keep
And
that in mind.
that ends up working out, I think. As long as you just like keep going, it goes back to what you said in the very beginning, like something that's meant for you will happen.
Right.
Hmm. So, I touched on this before, but, you really have had such an awesome career up till now, and you did it all at such a young age, which is so impressive. So I'm wondering, what's next for you? Can you share some of your artistic goals, or your visions for what your career is going to look like in the future?
Yes. I am still wanting to do more TV and film acting. I'm
Nice.
still really striving for that because I don't know, it's something totally new. It's so different from Broadway, and I want to keep exploring it um, all I can. And I would love to do Broadway again. That's definitely going to happen. I can feel it. My friend Isabella Russo and I, we want to be in Hamilton together because we did School of Rock
Yes.
together. And I want to be Angelica, and she's going to be Eliza. It's happening. I don't
Oh
know
my
when,
God.
but it's happening.
Yes, manifest that. I love it.
Manifest, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I for college, I would love to go to Juilliard because
Mm.
I can still learn so much. I don't like the feeling of, oh, I've already done this, like I know everything. That's not true. I want to learn about tech and backstage and lighting because you never know
Mm.
when you have to be pushed in that direction sometimes. I don't know. I
Right.
just want to know the ins and outs of theater, of TV. Um, and then also if I'm in a show or something, or I would love to have like a creative hand in there. Like I would like to contribute
Ooh.
to the creative process. Write a story, maybe. I don't know, but I think that would seem
Yeah,
fun. So I think that's the future. I,
I love that.
yeah. Thank you.
It's exciting. There's so much on the horizon.
Yes, I'm really excited. I'm just gonna keep going for real.
Now, can you tell me a little bit about, you were talking about your experience with film and TV and how you've more recently gotten into that world. What has
hmm
that been like for you, and how has it differed from your experience on stage?
It's been really cool because, if I forget a line or something, like we can just, okay, let's redo that. Sorry, guys. Um,
Yeah.
and it's something so different because my first role was Chicago PD. I was really scared because I don't know, like, and that's when Stranger Things was pretty popular. And I'm like, okay, kid actors, like, we're actually doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are from Broadway. Like,
Yeah.
this is so real, but I'm so scared. I don't know. And it
Yeah.
wasn't really anything to a little bit. It wasn't really anything to be that nervous about. It's a lot of waiting,
Mm.
and then you go and you redo it a lot of times. Like it's very like repetitive, which is fine. I enjoyed my time, so it's been really cool. I just think it's really cool. And then you get to watch it back, have some notes, move on, move locations. I don't know. It's really cool. I really
Mm-hmm.
enjoy it. Yeah.
When you were filming Chicago PD, were you filming in Chicago? Like, did you have to travel to be on set for that?
Yes, that was actually in
Wow.
Chicago, and I'd never been there, so that was cool. I was with my dad, and we went to museums, we got hot dogs. It was a summer too, so it was really cool.
Yes. Oh, fun. So what was the, like, logistically, they would fly you out for like a certain amount of time, and you would just like spend your time, you would like live in a hotel and just be on set every day, or how did that work?
Yeah, so basically, yeah, they flew us out, and then we stayed at an apartment.
Got
And
it.
because I was there maybe a month and a half, maybe 2 months, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like a span of a month and 2 months. I cannot remember right now. But yeah, so we stay there and then yeah, basically going to set every day, but having some free days off too, because I wasn't needed for
Nice.
a lot, I would say. So it was nice. I
Yeah.
was there for maybe like 2 weeks and then I left and then I had to come back. So I got to miss some school. Um, yeah, so that's basically
That's
what it's
always a
what it's
plus.
like. Oh yeah, it's such a plus. And but the downside was my family and I, we go on a summer trip every year. Well, not this year, COVID,
Wow.
but I had to miss it because I was shooting. So my aunt stayed with me at the apartment, and they all went to Hawaii without me.
No, they were like, bye, Bobby.
They
And you're
were
like,
like,
I'm a
anyways,
working woman, you guys.
yeah. I was like, whatever. My aunt took me to the fair, so that was cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. What an adventure. Has
Oh
it been
yeah.
hard to be relocated so many times, like working remote in places that aren't Portland? Like, is that a tough transition for you, or do you kind of like the adventure of it?
I really like it because
Yeah.
Oregon, like I don't know, it's very bland. I love it. It's my home, but it's very bland. So when I went to New York, okay, well my grandma lives in New York, so actually we stayed with her.
Oh,
Well, they provided apartments, so we stayed in the apartments for a few months, and then after they were like, okay, we're not doing the apartment thing anymore. We stayed with her, and I love the city. That's where I hope to live one day. So that was
yeah.
cool because I just love the city. It's so cool. So I didn't have a problem with that. The only problem was that I missed my family sometimes. That
Mm.
that was the only downside because I was with my dad, and my mom and my sisters were still here because she had to work and school. And then no, going to
Yeah.
Chicago, that was fun because I knew I wasn't gonna be there for like a year, like School of Rock was. I was just shooting something for like a month or 2 months. So I was like, this is cool. Like I'm with my dad again. He's my buddy, like for all that kind of stuff. And
Shout out to your dad. Yeah, he handles your booking, right? Is he your manager or
yes,
what's his role?
yes, he's my poppager. Yes.
Your poppager. I love it. Yes, shout out to
Yeah, he's
Aster.
great. Yes. And yeah, so no, I really like it because it's cool. It's not like home, and then I come back. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. So you hope to live in New York one day. That's kind of like the vision for you.
Yes, since
Yeah.
Juilliard is in New York, I want to go to college
Mm-hmm.
there and then stay. Stay. I don't. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I just love it there. There's so many opportunities. You got Broadway, TV, all this stuff. So I'm just like, yeah, totally
You have
staying.
everything.
Yeah, I
Yes.
just love it.
When you go to Juilliard and when you get here, let me know. We can go have a
Yes.
coffee. We can hang out.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, for sure. That'll be so awesome.
Yeah, New York is I love it here, and I also moved here for school 4 years ago when I went to NYU, and it was always my plan to stay here as well. So that's kind of what I'm doing, but it is weird with COVID, like the whole city's different.
Like a ghost
But the
town,
cool
I heard.
thing, a little bit, I don't know, that's kind of it's not exactly my experience of it. Like I still feel the vitality of the city. There's something about New York. There's a fire that burns in the soul of the city that I think will never die. So you can still feel that. It's still lively.
Yeah.
People are still just living their lives and like persevering through crazy stuff that's going on, which makes it just so nice to live here. So I'm excited for you to get here. And
Me too.
yeah, we'll hang out. We'll like make it full circle.
Oh, yes, let's do it. I would love it.
I love that. Okay, final question. I'm gonna sort of throw this one at
Okay.
you. So this show is about networking as well. Like that's something that the word networking is interesting to me, and how that works, because in this industry, it's all about, well, it's not all about who you know, but people say like, oh, Broadway's all about who you know. But I'm just wondering, for you in your network, who is someone for you that's not in your current network that you wish was, and how would you go about getting them into your network?
Ooh, good question. Um, Probably, I don't know, probably like Viola Davis or something.
Oh,
Because
good.
first
Good
of all,
one.
she's probably my favorite actress. She's so talented, and
Mm,
everything. You just believe everything she does. And
truly.
how would I go about it? I feel like I would try to, because she went to Juilliard as well. So who knows?
Hey.
Maybe if there's a teacher that's still there, or there are some connections to her. I don't know. I try to
Mhm.
like reach out and maybe schedule a meeting or something to talk to her and showcase her talents. Maybe, I don't know. Become kind of friends, and then if something
Yeah.
comes along the line and she's like, "Hey, I know someone for this," so because she's like so respected. I feel, yeah, that'd probably be my choice. I
That's
think.
fantastic. Viola Davis is such a good choice. Oh, like when you said that, I got goosebumps, because she really is. I mean, she's the top of the top. And she is so underrated too.
I know. I
You know what I
know.
mean?
I'm like,
Yeah.
yes. But
Yeah.
yeah,
She does
oh, I
not
love
get.
her.
Me too. Me too. Great answer. Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
for rolling with the punches on all my questions.
Oh
This has
no,
been
thank you.
This has been such a great interview. We're almost out of time, but thank you so much for taking the time to join me. It was a pleasure to have you on the show, and just hear about your journey and what's coming next. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you so much, and this was really fun. I really enjoyed myself, so thank you.
Good. I'm glad. It's so fun for me to have this platform to connect with artists who are across the country, or we never would have been able to do this in person. So it's just so exciting to me that, we still get to connect even in this time of isolation.
Yeah, so true. Really true. It's really cool. Yeah.
So for people watching, if you want to find Bobbi, connect with Bobbi, you can find her on Instagram at the Bobbi MacKenzie. There's her handle there. Follow her. She's amazing. She's doing a lot of great work. And yeah, that's a wrap on the first debut episode of season 2. Thanks for being our first season 2 episode. Yay.
This is so cool. Thank you for having me as a debut.
Of course. Okay, Bobbi. Well, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you so much, and stay safe, everyone out there.
Yes, stay safe. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. That's a wrap on season 2, episode 1. Thanks for tuning in. And I see we have some comments in the chat. Hey, Michelle. You saw Bobbi and Shrek. That's so awesome. What a small world. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Dana, producer extraordinaire, my sister. Love you. Thanks for tuning in. That's a wrap. We will see you next week with season 2, episode 2 with another really exciting guest. Have a great weekend, everyone.